Hello, it's Alex and welcome to Hey Little Thrifter. Today I'm going to be sharing my Horror in 24 Readathon TBR. This is a readathon hosted by Carol Marie Reads, Crystal Visions, Marcy Reads and Brews and Binds, and it takes place from July 11th to August 3rd. And it's basically a 24-day long readathon to get people to read more horror. And not that I need any kind of push to read horror, but it's always fun to join in a readathon, and I wanted to support some fellow booktubers. So I will leave links to all of their announcement and TBR videos below, so definitely go check them out. There are 8 prompts, and there are a couple of books I'm going to be combining challenges for, so using the same book for more than one challenge. But anyway, prompt number 1 is to read a book with red on the cover, and I'm going with Prodigal by Melanie Tem. I honestly don't know too much about the synopsis for this one, but it's one I have been wanting to read for quite a while. This won the Bram Stoker Award in 1991. It was a tie between this book and The Cipher by Kathy Koja, and The Cipher is amazing. It's one of my favourites, and knowing that this kind of tied winning an award with that one made me want to read this one. So I have kind of purposely not really read too much about it. I just want to go in and find out for myself. All I do know is that I think it follows a young girl and some kind of traumatic things that are going on, and who doesn't like a disturbing nightmare material cover like this? Challenge number 2 is to read a haunted house or ghost story, and I'm going with Slade House by David Mitchell. This is one I've been meaning to read for ages, and it's honestly been so long since I added it to my general TBR that I've kind of forgotten what it's about, but I do seem to remember it involving some kind of haunted house situation. Prompt number 3 is to read a book featuring supernatural creatures like zombies, vampires, werewolves, etc. And I'm going with Phantom by Thomas Tessier. This is about a young boy who thinks he has monsters in his room, but of course no one believes him. And I don't know too much more about it other than that, so I don't know if they are actually supernatural creatures or not, but I am intrigued to find out. I have read one other novel by this author. It was The Nightwalker, which funnily enough is a werewolf novel, and that was pretty good, so I'm looking forward to reading more by him. Prompt number 4 is to read a gothic horror novel, and I'm going with Wilding Hall by Elizabeth Hand. This one I've seen described as gothic, so hopefully it will fit the bill. And it's about a folk band who go to this place called Wilding Hall in order to record an album, but what happens there ends up being the end of the band, and I think the story picks up some years later and takes the form of interviews with the band members looking back on what happened. It's one I've been wanting to check out for a while, and yeah, this seems like a great opportunity to finally give it a read. Prompt number 5 is to read your favourite childhood spooky story, and I don't necessarily have one favourite, but the point horror books are my childhood, so it was an obvious choice to pick one of those books, and I decided to go with Beach House by R.L. Stine. I do remember really enjoying this one back in the day, and I think it takes place during the summer, so obviously now is the perfect time to give it a read. And the only thing I remember about this one is that the story takes place over 2 different time periods. I think it starts off in the 1950s and then picks up again in the present day, which is the 90s. So yeah, I'm looking forward to revisiting this one. It's been some time. Prompt number 6 is to read a psychological horror story, and yeah, I'm doubling up prompts here and I'm choosing Prodigal by Melanie Tem. I have seen this described as psychological horror, so hopefully it fits the bill. Prompt number 7 is to read any horror book that has been on your TBR for a while, and I'm doubling up again and going with Slade House by David Mitchell. This is one I have been intrigued by ever since it came out a few years ago, but for whatever reason I just haven't picked it up yet, so I think it's about time I do, and I hear really good things about it, so I'm looking forward to finally picking it up. And the final prompt, number 8, is to read a group book, which is Survivor Song by Paul Tremblay, and I am unfortunately just not really interested in reading that one. I know that's really lame of me to not join in, but I have read one of his other books, A Head Full of Ghosts, and it was okay, but I just wasn't in love with it, so I just haven't really been drawn to reading any of his other books. So sorry, I won't be joining in on that one, but I do look forward to hearing what other people think of it, so maybe it will pique my interest at that point and I'll read it in future. So that is my TBR for the Horror in 24 readathon, which starts on July 11th for 24 days. I am looking forward to it. Like I said, I will leave all of the links to the hosts of the readathon in the description below, so go check them out. And yeah, let me know if you are also taking part in the readathon. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!